So I am pulling from the Thelema deck, and I just do these reads en route as I go on to my activities for the day. So take it as it resonates for all of you. Just a quick note, it's a general read. It may or may not resonate with your story. So if it's not, of course, always check back. This is going to be pertaining to, anything that's relating around your finances, your career, job aspects, anything that's relating around relationships or significance. Of significance would be bigger energies that might be coming through. And also, again, you don't all make decisions on a Monday or a Wednesday, so some of the timelines are going to shift for some of you for this currently, others it may be a little bit further out. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So I've pulled off some of the cards here toward this on the side, just for the sake of room and so on. Sorry, I'm just going to shift this a little bit. So it has, all right, as you can see, this is the Thelema deck tarot cards. So, and that's by Renata Leshner. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Okay, so first off, what we're starting with is the energy is coming through with the Six of Swords. The energy coming through is, I'm going to put this maybe outside here. The Six of Swords. So, and how I also read it is, in general, we're just going to be doing some of the general energy first, what the initial cards are, and then we'll tie it all together so it makes more sense. So individually, this is also a card that indicates that there is some kind of a transition, something that you're going through that has, it's obviously been a bit of a difficult time. There is more at the edge here. Basically, you are transitioning away from something that's been more difficult. The Emperor is also a card of taking control over your destiny. So there's something here that kind of speaks to having mastered something, or at least having a sense of being back in control. You can see light at the end of the tunnel. There's something here that is changing, and you're able to put something behind you because you're moving into a more balanced state with the Justice card. So again, this is in around that transition of risk to, could be karmic justice here also. Sorry, guys. Could be a karmic justice situation here as well, but it also speaks to something in terms of a legality of some sort, or something in regards to contracts, that this is actually starting to move in your direction. So things are starting to balance it again, even though you do. Hi, Isabella. So even though things may not be, apparent right at this moment. So again, we're just going through the cards on a general basis, and then we'll tie it all there. Queen of Cups is that card that it does speak to water sign, but it also indicates there is something here of dealing with the emotions, dealing with a long-term commitment, and certainly anything that's hierarchical, corporate, or some kind of energy of a bigger. Hi, Logan. Hi, Nosebleed. And yeah, so it's just basically things that you're dealing with seem to be of a legal nature, I would say, or at least something very contractual. I'm very good, Logan. How are you guys? And now we're on to the Nine of Wands, the situation that you've been enduring for some time. It is definitely a push-through situation. When you get to the tens, that's obviously when you're at a level of completion. So whatever it is that you're currently, I feel like there's something there that kind of speaks to the final, you're just at the final stage of something. So whatever it is you're waiting on, it could be arrival of, well, we'll kind of feel that out here when I see the rest of the cards, but it does something that you're waiting on here, and you're pushing through, with a bit of a level of frustration and exasperation, all of that. Now we've got the, sorry, I was just reading your comments there, Logan. Oh, you like the cards? Yeah, no, I like these ones too. These ones are the Thelema. I actually have quite a few cards. I don't know why I don't use them very often. I just get creature of habit. But Edge of Wands, again, whatever it is you've been waiting on, there's been some kind of, push through. It's frustration. It's definitely a level of anxiety, I would say, that's probably, really drawn on your energy to get to some kind of a point. But Page of Wands, there's something here as far as there's something, and thank on that, Logan. And yeah, but with the Page of Wands, there's some kind of spark of, feeling like you've got some movement, albeit a small movement, but there is something that speaks to that movement being there. Three of Swords, it's really been a tough situation for you, especially in terms of, heartbreak or conflict, or something here that has kind of thrown you off. And I feel like not just only, physically, emotionally with the Four of Cups. So definitely there's some level of, depression or apathy, or just just general malaise, just not feeling quite yourself. But the Nine of Cups is here, so something is changing. Again, these are more the clarifiers, so it could be a little further out than May, but basically things are in motion. So you are going to be getting something here that you've been waiting on. That does seem like it's going to be moving ahead here pretty quick. Now we're getting to the sun. Now I have asked for some specifics on each of these little piles, but I'll go through that here in a little bit. Oh, that's really good, Logan. I'm glad you got good things last time you did this. I appreciate that. So with the Sun card, this is a general card of happiness, could also be Leo, but overall that Nine of Cups with the Sun card, something tells me you're in a space of being, quite stressed out. And for sure, there is a level of even almost self-sabotaging with negative thought patterns, that kind of thing. But there really is, that's just you standing in the way of, what's coming in. So, I mean, it might be slowing it down, but the point, because of our thought patterns and that frequency and that negativity that get there. But I see the Six of Wands. This is a card of having a certain level of achievement, a certain level of status, a certain level of attachment, or not attachment, but drawing energy to you and certainly putting yourself out there. It's actually something that kind of puts you back on the mark again. Sixes are all about balance and harmony. Again, with the cards of the sun and all the rest of it that's out here, it really is a victory card. So it does tell me that you win something that you've been probably waiting on. This could be a raise for some of you. Whatever it is that you've been waiting for, there's a decision that's coming down here and it is in your favor. So that's what I would say. Somehow you're rising in value. There's a change in your value and you're getting what you want. So now we're going to go right into the Hermit. And again, that energy still, tells me that you're in a very introspective mode. A lot of the cards that are out here, the only one is the major arcana is the Justice. So that tells me that's your main theme for the month, is things are starting to balance out. The Hermit, like I said, dealing with a Virgo here as well. I tend to feel like the major arcana are usually the people that are big players in our life. But again, even with the Hermit, this is you kind of taking distance from things or from people and situations. Again, this is more of Jane coming out of the darkness, as things of that sort. But it definitely feels as though you are still in a space of, um, benefiting in some way, but it's also a solitary pursuit. So I feel like there's a certain level of alone in whatever the matter is you're dealing with. Okay, so now we're going into the last cards out here, and then I'll tie them all in together. So the Two of Swords, obviously, again, it looks like you're waiting on something because there's a decision to be made here. And it does feel like it has to do possibly around something contractual, but either way, there is a bit of a gridlock energy. And again, it feels like it's in around money on the regard, just because of the cards coming out here. So the time frame, we'll also try to get that in there also. But the Page of Pentacles is an incremental, it's also a messenger. So it's also an indicator that there is something that's coming through that has, it's moving, it's advancing. It's kind of a slow energy. And again, this could be dealing with things that are tied up. The money was tied up possibly because of that, because the Two of Pentacles, like a juggling of situations. There's still something here that kind of speaks to, having to juggle things before something maybe possibly comes through here, because two is about partnerships, decisions. Again, it's a period of, it's all of those things. So I really feel like there is definitely something relating around money, the more that I see this coming through. For whoever this resonates for. Overall, I just feel like it's, helping you to establish something that's a little bit more, more in the range of, one thing, well, I should say one thing is sort of affecting the other, is what I would say. And because of that, it just feels disorganized on some level. So it's like you want to keep things fluid. And so you're readjusting and readjusting and readjusting to kind of make something happen. Then we get to the Knight of Swords. This is the information, something fast tracking coming through for you. And then we have the Strength card, push through. You've got the, the willpower, the determination. Queen of Swords is like clarity is coming in on the situation. Nine of Swords, you still sleepless, still worried, anxiety about the situation and the outcome of it. But the Two of Wands shows me there's still a little bit of a period of waiting, but there's also something here about it's pushing through. Four of Wands, it's all around your established energy. So anything around your foundation that it's affecting. So now we're going to go through this in a little bit more detail. That's just kind of the general energy of what's out here. And then I will go through how it affects you in terms of, your relationships and all the rest of it. Even though, and of course I should say at the bottom of the deck was the Ace of Wands, so very good card, and below that 7 of Pentacles, but I'm only going to take the one for the time being. Okay, so we'll go right back into it. So for May, I feel like it's a powerful transformational sort of journey or moment, something that you have to go through here. It does around financial, adjustments and emotional healing as well. And again, just to sort of break it down into kind of the three primary areas here that I was focusing on. The overall general energy with the Justice card, of course, speaks to there being and they came out with the Emperor as well as the Six of Swords. So it does feel like things are in transition, but it's moving into a period of fairness now. So after a period of internal or external imbalance, this is where you're trying to make more disciplined or ethical choices, and you're moving away from chaotic energy. So when we got to the next cards here with the Sun, Swords, of course, that's the restriction card, Six of Wands, you win, and the Hermit, doing it, individually dealing with the situation. But it's also, your success is strong in the reading. There's a lot of cards here with the Sun, Queen of Cups, the Justice, the Emperor, all those things of, taking charge of the situation and sort of, meeting the challenges head on. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, basically, is what I'm saying here, especially when the overall significator is your Ace of, which is the bottom of the deck. So that tells me there's a spark, but you're still in that inward phase with that Six of Wands and the Hermit. So public or outward success is available to some of you, but I still feel like this is more of an internal, reflective, inward sort of period for you overall. Oh, okay. Sorry, Logan. Yeah, no, I'm glad you stopped in. Oh, appreciate that. Totally. Yeah, I'm glad you'll follow along. So night night. I don't know what time it is on your end of the world. So anyway, as I said, the Sun does indicate that there is, success is strong for you. Whatever it is that you're going through, the light at the end of the tunnel, as I mentioned. So there's something here about fear-based thinking with that Eight of Swords, negative thoughts, all of that, the kind of way. But I would still say you're kind of quietly processing what's going on. There's growth, there's potential here. I feel like, kind of the summary of May really is, it's like a moment of like almost like an epiphany judgment moment where you actually start to understand, some truths of some sort. You're getting clarity over the fear and the confusion, and you're shedding away the illusion things. Really in that space of facing those old patterns, and you're trying to go about the future here in a more medical way. So when we talk about money and career, and again, that was more along the lines of Swords energy here. So this does tell me that, especially when it was followed up by the Page of Pentacles, and again, there was some kind of restriction around money, but there was an initial indecision or something being stagnant. And again, there could have been, you juggling responsibilities and all of that, but it still talks about things being planted, small seeds being planted. There's still some good things coming in there. With the Page of Pentacles, and again, could be contractual, can be loans, wherever that money is for you. It's something there that is kind of moving towards you now. It is advancing. What I would say is that it's like a decision has been made, or it's more conclusive. And so whether that's outside of your control, it does feel like you are required to take emotional control and be patient and to handle it without the panic. The fact that we saw the Knight of Swords through here as quickly as we did, because that is information and contractual, it's very direct communication, especially with the Queen of Swords. Could be dealing with an air sign here as well that's some relevant to the read. But so Gemini, Leo, or sorry, Leo is also sort of a part of this, and so is the water signs, but very strongly Libra, Gemini, Aquarius coming through on quite a few cards here. So again, you've got some sleepless nights. You've been waiting for them through, whether this is financial or professional or whatever. Hi, Ashita. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll answer a question on a card on that one too. But I'll do it at the end just so as not to confuse what's happening right now for Gemini. But I think, these are kind of old emotional wounds here as well, that you're sort of having victory over, and especially with the Hermit, like you're still processing a lot of old mental wounds, although they are resurfacing for you to make new choices. So it's something along that line. Now, the fact that we did actually have the Two of Wands out here as well, also is an indicator that, is there's more potential for stability here. So this is a decision that's being made. It's also that kind of speaks to a breakthrough or something that's going to be more of a celebratory energy, because it's tied to collaboration, because there's some kind of decision that's being made here. And as the time frame, um, because again, that stability card is here with the Four of Wands. I would say, you're coming out of a fog about something in, the first couple of weeks of May, the juggling of responsibilities or the planning phase. You're still in that in the first couple of May. And then by week 3, there's this sudden communication or something that's, going to advance, which allows you to push through the fear. And then I'd say by week 4, this is really where that stability starts to show. And then you start to see some external signs of success emerge. So basically, it's a turning point by the end of the month. I would say for sure. And I would say that it's just, clear strategic action is really what's required here. As far as the other card, like the Queen of Cups, again, it is water sign energy here. So I'm feeling like, this is this is your inner emotional life. So I feel like you're becoming more emotionally attuned to yourself. And what I mean by that, especially too, because we had the Hermit out here, what that also means is it's something with, in regards to a tradition. So there's something here that you're finding more meaning in a traditional sense, in a traditional, relationship, or you're starting to feel like there is more grounding in that area. So I feel like it's almost a softening toward that dynamic, toward that connection. So there is also something here about, craving maybe a little bit of spiritual structure or seeking wisdom that's just beyond the emotional state of things. So again, when we kind of tie it all in together, is still a lot of, you processing with the Nine of Wands, and again, the Two of Swords, and, because that's stymied sort of energy with the, I think we had the Four of Wands, but the Two of Pentacles, all of that there. So, I mean, and the Nine of Swords. So it feels like, you're a little defensive, you're a little wounded, you're getting past the heart unresolved pain. But I would say, and again, that could be where it's more connected person, more specifically, but I would still say with the Page of Wands and that Four of Cups, there's still a curiosity or some kind of spiritual attraction, or some kind, despite the fact that there's also emotional dissatisfaction, there is still something that makes you curious. And I do feel like with that Nine of Cups at the heart of the matter, you desire peace and fulfillment. And it's actually, I would say, with this person. So like there is a lot of complex emotions that you're still kind of working through, because the heart is conflicted here. It's guarded, and it's still wanting that emotional satisfaction, wanting some kind of inner peace. The healing is possible with all of this energy here, but it's only with truth and, being vulnerable, defensive and guarded, opening up. So again, there is the Ace of Wands, which is the one that's at the very bottom. So that tells me there is that seed of renewal, and that's all about, like a spiritual reignition of some sort. So you're feeling a lot more on purpose, on task, and there's more desire, and you're just kind of feeling a lot more energetic by month's end. So probably in that 3rd to 4th week, I would say. Doesn't mean everything's going to be fixed, but the potential there is that things are starting to become a little bit more lively again. So I just feel like overall, like your low points are really kind of the mental loops that you put yourself through, the fear, the indecision, heartbreak. And then your success really comes from you, being in this of emotional maturity with that Queen of Cups, I believe it was there. You're starting to, be wiser with your emotional states and less reactive. So there's something there about aligning with your truth internally and externally. So the Justice is the path that we're after here this month. And again, it still speaks to alignment with truth. The fact that we had the Emperor that was out there also is an indicator that there's something more here about you not taking bold moves. So again, it's success with emotional maturity. And it's also very much along that lines of a creative fire, or, things that have a creative fire to them, they reignite when they're built on honesty and passion. So I feel like overall, things that are coming in for you is that the financial thing is whatever you've been waiting. something relating around finances or around your foundation with the home, with that Four of Wands is coming through for you. So I would say that's kind of the highlight, and you're still working through those unresolved emotions as they come up. It seems like you're starting to make some progress in that area. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Gemini, for the month of May. Let's see here, and I'm just do another reading for, so I was just looking at the comments there. Ashita, what is going to happen with Yashank and my connection ahead? Okay, let's do that one. What is going to happen with Yashank and the connection ahead? What is going to happen with Yashank and the connection ahead? Oh, that looks good. Could be dealing with a Leo, could be dealing with definitely a positive, optimistic advancement, sort of very, I would say, attractive energy here. Like a lot of attraction is what I was at there. And what else is coming in? What's the King of Swords? What is the Knight of Wands? I see a lot in regards to money here. I don't know why, but money seems to be a factor, or things around grounded energy, lots of mature energy. What is the next action that's being taken? There is going to be some kind of, it's like a wish fulfillment almost, but not quite. It's like something is upscaling in this connection. And I would say that could mean moving in together, or it could be, financially investing in one another, because the card at the bottom of the deck is the Three of Pentacles. So that tells me that there is sort of an upscale of working together. Lots in around on money here, I would say. And there's certainly lots of romantic kind of gestures and that kind of thing that are coming through. So, so let's kind of go through the cards individually. So I'm looking at this, but again, there's a lot of grounded energy here. So it's like something has to work through in terms of the money, because that's somehow very strongly correlated to this read. So again, we've got Knight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and that one, I would say, I'm just going to pull this behind so I can kind of get a feel of the rest of it here. I'm not covering up the cards. Okay, so what I here, again, we've got, it's almost, I don't know if there's two choices here or something like that, but there's definitely something here that's coming through with a lot of very, yeah, I would say yes on the future together for sure. I was just reading your comment. And it's very, I don't know, it just seems like we've got a lot of it here. Could be dealing with an air sign here as well. This person I feel is very concerned about money, whether it's you or him. And I definitely feel like there is a lot of, it's almost entrepreneurial in nature, but somebody who's very well established at what they do. And when I see the Page of Cups, again, there's some kind of romantic gesture or something that's coming through here. But it's like there's so much here that kind of speaks to like really wanting to have some kind of secure lifestyle. That seems to be really important to this person. I'm going to say yes, there's going to be some kind of motion towards you very soon. They're going to be making a call, or there's going to be a romantic gesture. But there definitely is some kind of intense passion, I would say, with this person. If not soon, if it's happening. But I definitely feel like there is, this person, there's a lot of movement. This person has a lot of charisma. It's, again, either you or them, but I suspect this is them. But there is physical attraction, bold, emotional kind of energy. And this person is coming in pretty fast, I would say here as well. And there's almost like a sense of urgency for them. But it's almost like with the Ace of Pentacles, it's a new offer, a new opportunity in love, or it's some kind of grounded, real kind of energy that's also around new beginning that is secure. So I would say again, there's something here about the money being strongly correlated. It's very important to this person or you. The King of Pentacles comes through as a really reliable, stable partner. There is definitely that feeling that somebody's ready to offer commitment or some kind of financial stability towards you, and it's supportive. So I feel like it's not a fantasy. This is like very mature love. King of Pentacles, King of Swords, King of Wands. There's just a lot of, powerful energy here. And again, lots of strategic and building on things. And I feel like this is a person, again, who's very expressive. When they want something, they go after it. There's almost, and again, if you're dealing with two masculine influences, because almost like I'm getting pulled in sort of two different directions here a little bit. But again, one could be very cool and logical and the other is more passionate. But either way, I still feel like there's one person that seems to be more strongly advancing here with you. The Page of Cups, like I said, it's kind of that innocence that's coming back to a situation. It's sweet, it's soft, it's apologies, it's new emotional beginnings, it's somebody kind of giving you the call and saying, very important, really wants to work a situation. Somebody who, it's all about healing and hope and timing and all of this. So it just really feels like things are opening up for both of them, and things are a lot more romantic and more honest. And I just feel like you're close to, whatever this dream life is that you're willing to, go through with this person. And especially with the Eight of Pentacles here, it's like you're both willing to commit on this situation. So you're okay building it slowly with details and care and time and energy, all of that. Because it's being crafted very deliberate. It's not something that is, just jumping in and diving without any kind of forethought. This person's really planning to be with you, and I think you're doing the same in some way. Maybe in the first couple of weeks there is some kind of energy of an encounter or a message thing. Somebody's making the first move, kind of emotionally. Maybe the second or third week, kind of roughly, with that Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. I feel like things are more effort, more trust, building in that future direction. And I definitely like there's more commitment for sure, Ashita. Absolutely. King of energy, all the kings there and the star. It's like there's a sense of clarity, a sense of hope, optimism, stability is all also here. Emotional openness, it's like you mature. The two of you are your maturity levels are aligned with one another. So I just feel like it's like a wish, being granted in a sense, that the love is starting to bloom here in some way. So again, definitely emotional, you heal each other in some way. And I feel like there's a really strong understanding of each other. I definitely feel like you're moving toward a long-term devotion with this person with that King of Pentacles energy. So I would say it really does support a lot of emotional development, romantic development. All of it is here. So again, there's that masculine energy kind of maturing in so many cards here, 3 kings. And it's like there's just one final king left to go, which is the King of Cups. But this person's you as someone they can love fully, and, maybe they are still sort of repairing elements of themselves, because that could be what's going on with the star there. But it's like they see this love as a gift in some way, and they invest in it and they want to grow with you. So I would say very good energy here, and you'll be hearing from them pretty soon. So hopefully that, oh, I'm glad. Yeah. So anyway, that is what I have for you guys for Gemini for the month of May 2025, or whenever you find this. Keep moving forward, guys, and never give up. We'll see you in the next read.